So I got this comment the other day and it really got me thinking. Wouldn't it be awesome if when a new season launches, you go to buy the season pass and then you're presented with 4 to 5 options depending on how many cards are released, and you get to choose the card that is in your respective season pass? The more I think about it, the more I think this benefits the player base and the developers. I'm going to get into a lot of reasons why, but let's just use our imagination here for a second, okay? So you swan dive right over to the season pass because the new season has just begun. Instead of just one character representing the season pass, we have a mystery card. You go and click it, and then it's like a little pack, and it opens up and you have 4 to 5 options, and then you can choose your starter. Yes, you get to choose the card. So maybe there's an archetype that you're more interested in this month, or maybe you're in Series 3 and you only have so many cards and you want to pick the one that best suits your collection so that you can build a legitimate deck to maybe get to infinite. Because maybe the season pass card just doesn't really fit either your play style or the cards, that you actively have, so there's not enough support to even use it. Well, that'd probably result in a lot of lost potential sales for the season pass and kind of disappointment for the player base to maybe just skip out the month and then maybe lose interest in the game in the long run. If you can choose the card that you want month over month, and mind you still got to pay the season pass. Let's not change that around. You still got to pay for it. But because you have a little bit more agency over your collection, you get to choose the card you want. I think that'd be awesome for everybody. I've seen a lot of people suggest this just for the collector's reserves. It opens up and you have a choice of 1 and 3. A lot of pushback I think I saw from Team Secondary, because if that were to happen, then a lot of the cards would just get pushed aside and never played, which is fair. Maybe we keep those random, that's fine. But the season pass, I think we can open that up to being a 1 and 4, 1 and 5, and you get to choose the card. I mean, people are already kind of trying to save their collector's tokens to get 1 card a month if they can. But if it was the season pass card, I feel like that's a lot easier of a step in to get the card that you want, rather than tokens, which are just a huge problem on their own right now. Mind you, big warning here. I'm not saying this is the end all answer to the economic problems that are present in Marvel Snap, okay? This is just a small step that I think could please a lot of people. I'm sure there's some people that wouldn't be interested in this. Let me know why in the comments below. But we're going to get into why I think this would be a great idea, and also maybe some potential downsides. Let's get to it. All right, some upsides. Now, this might be a little bit redundant, but it's really important to note. You get the card that you want. There's so many reasons why this is incredible. Like, a lot of complaints that I see is that in Marvel Snap, you have no agency over what you're collecting, aside from the collector's tokens. But as a lot of people know who have been playing for the last month or so, collector's tokens are hard to come by. And really, maybe if you play all the time, every day, you'll save up to get 1 card a month, one of those new cards. See, the thing that I have the biggest issue with in Marvel Snap right now is that new cards are just not exciting. Dude, it's like Hearthstone, an expansion rolls around and it opens up and you get really amped up. You're excited for it. Maybe you accumulated gold, you get to open packs, you get those cards right away. But with Marvel Snap, new cards come out and most people, I would say at least 90%, if not 95, 99, cannot get that new card. Not for a long time. And they're not always the most exciting cards. Sometimes they're just kind of like, I wouldn't even want it even if I had the tokens. I think this is a way to make it a little bit more exciting. You see, because you get to choose the card, you're actively making the choice to pass on 3 or 4 other options. And you're picking the one that tailors to your interests most, which kind of puts the responsibility in the player's hands, which is, I think, what we want. We want to be able to choose the cards that we want. And if we're wrong and we didn't pick the meta one, well, then too bad. I'll try again next month, because I get a new starter every month. And that's exciting. That's something worth coming back to Marvel Snap every single month. Or maybe I picked the niche card that everyone said was going to be bad. And all of a sudden there's this deck that I built and it's kicking butt. And all of a sudden I'm reaching infinite. And it's because I picked that season pass card. That feels good. And one thing Team Second Dinner has been talking about all the time is they want each player's collection to feel unique. And I think this is a great way to facilitate that feeling. You know, if you get to choose the card, I choose one card, you choose a different card, well, then we're going to have different collections right off the hop. We're going to be building different decks. I'll still have the ability to get those cards later down the line if I save my collector's tokens. And there becomes a problem like when do you release certain cards then? Because they all have to be ready for the game at the beginning of the season, right? They all have to launch at the same time. Well, I think you just stagger the release dates and it could almost maybe be random for each player. I don't know exactly details about that, but I just feel like it could be an easy way to find out a solution there. And then another thing I saw was like, what about, you know, all the avatars, the variants, you know, they build this theme each month for that card. It's always focusing around that one major character. Well, you know what? I'd almost argue it's not really. Like, even though this was Zabu's season, it was the Savage Land. And then Silver Surfer's season was the Cosmic Power, or the Power Cosmic. I always got that wrong. But then why don't we just, you know, really tailor it to the setting? You know, focus on just making variants for existing cards that kind of fit that theme. And then you can just do the avatars, do the card backs, all that good stuff. And then the main card can just be a mystery card that you pick one of 4. The boosters can just be dedicated to the variants that were made, or maybe just more random boosters. I don't know. You don't really have to set it so hardcore to that one character. If anything, I find it a bit weird that Marvel Snap leans that way right now, because it puts a lot of pressure on that one card being good. If they ever make a season pass and the card is trash, like imagine Shannon the She-Devil was the season pass card. I don't think nearly as many people would have bought the season pass. It'd be a pass. And another thing I want to talk about is MODOK is going to be the one coming up, okay? So MODOK's going to be the February season pass card. And he's all about discard or empty hand on reveal if you want to stretch it, but mostly he's just about discard. What if you hate playing discard decks? You just don't want to do it at all. Well, then you're probably going to pass on the season pass, and that's going to make a lot less sales. And overall, you might have a more negative experience because you have to wait until the next month to get that one card per month that you can kind of spend money on, but it's not too expensive. It's a more easier way to acquire cards than saving up tokens. And then lastly, I think it'd just be easier to balance cards because you already put them all in the game. Players made the choice on which one they want to get, and then you can just balance them willingly. When it's all focused on the one season pass card, I think people are a lot more sensitive about when changes are made. Now, I'm under the belief that it should just be, you know, like the risk that you take when you get a card in Marvel Snap at any point in time. It could be nerfed, it could be changed, anything could happen, and you just have to understand that when you're using your in-game currencies or real-life monies towards these cards. But yeah, that's just a wide variety of reasons why I think this would be such a great, simple, small step forward to giving power back to the players in determining what their collection is going to look like while also increasing sales. But it's not all good. Maybe there's some downsides. Let's check it out. Downsides. Honestly, I couldn't really think of too many. I feel like this is just a win, but let me know in the comments below if you think there's like something blatantly bad about this that I'm missing here. But one thing I was thinking is overall, you're going to have less credit purchases, right? Because I got the card that I wanted, I'm not excited about the other ones. I don't have to worry about saving up tokens or whatever, any other in-game currencies to get those cards. I'll just wait until the next season, pick my card, and I'm happy just playing Marvel Snap that way, right? I'll just always pick one of 4 and the other 3 can go kick dust until they drop into my series and I collect them that way. So maybe it's not great overall for, you know, Team Second Dinner's bottom line. I don't know what it would look like. I don't know. I'm not, you know, Team Second Dinner. I don't know how many sales they get for the season pass versus, you know, people buying credits, gold, etc. So maybe that would affect them negatively. I still think it would be a net positive maybe with all the season pass purchases, but then also the season pass cards have to be game ready. I already kind of talked about that, but you'd have to have them balanced, all the artwork and whatever else right for the launch of the season. They might not be ready to do that just yet. We have seen cards change before they're officially released. Shadow King was a good example. Dazzler even had a small change. So maybe that would be too much of a time crunch and they can't get things ready month after month because these seasons are planned in advance. If they wanted to make a change like this, I bet it would have to happen, I don't know, like somewhere down the line in summer, because I'm sure they have at least the next 4 to 5 seasons built up and ready to go. So you can't really implement this right away. And then the last thing I was thinking about was buyer's remorse. You know, you got one card, but then you're like, I didn't want that card. I wish I had gotten this other card, and everyone's beating me in the meta because I didn't pick that card. But you know what? I actually love that, because if you're crying about that, well, then it's just on you. Am I right? You made the choice. Team Secondary gave you the 4 to 5 options and you chose that card. So it's kind of like tough luck. But guys, I could be totally missing something. Again, this is just a small suggestion, okay? It's just something cool that I saw, and I wanted to vocalize it because I thought maybe you guys would find it interesting as well. If you do find it interesting, definitely like this video and share it to other people so they can see this idea, and maybe we can even get the team to see it, and maybe it'll happen. Probably not, never, but it'd be pretty cool if we at least talk about it. It's the small changes that are going to make the economy of the game a better place. We can't just, turn everything on its head and flip the economy and change everything right away. We have to make small little baby steps, and I feel like this could be a really, really fun one. Clearly, I'm excited about it. It's not even something coming to the game, but it's fun to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash the like button if you find this an interesting idea, and snap subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.